Cities around the world welcomes New Year 2026 with crowds, fireworks, cultural performances. Nepal joins the celebration. Traditional attire takes center stage across Nepal. National dress and Hat Day celebrations underscore cultural identity amid New Year festivities. High-level probe commission to summon then Prime Minister Oli for clarification on Gen Z movement incidents prepares to submit report by January 21st. Several dozen feared dead in Swiss ski resort bar fire. Around 100 injured as authorities confirm multiple nationalities affected. U.S. military announces deadly strikes on suspected drug vessels. 8 killed as anti-narcotics operations intensify in the Caribbean. And help Nepal and police reach NV Club volleyball semi-finals. Men's final scheduled for Saturday. Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanamarai and this is NTV World Primetime News coming to you live from Kathmandu at 1900 hours Nepal time. Across the globe, it's 1:15 p.m. in London, 10:15 p.m. in Tokyo and just after midnight in Sydney. Now the news in detail. Cities around the world welcomed New Year 2026 with crowds, fireworks, cultural performances and prayers for a better year ahead from Asia, Europe to the Americas. In Rio de Janeiro, more than 1,200 drones and fireworks lit up Copacabana Beach with images including a giant recreation of Christ the Redeemer, while in Dubai, fireworks burst above the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. Across Asia, dancers and drum performers celebrated at Beijing's Great Wall of China, and in Mumbai, huge crowds packed Marine Drive under tight security, with young revelers expressing hopes for progress on issues such as feminism, racism and caste discrimination. Meanwhile, in Pyongyang, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un attended a lavish concert with his wife and daughter, marking the New Year at the Mayday Stadium. In Tokyo, thousands visited the historic Meiji Jingu Shrine to make offerings and pray for better fortune after a difficult 2025. In New York, crowds braved freezing temperatures and heavy security to witness the traditional ball drop in Times Square, while in London, spectators lined the River Thames for fireworks from the London Eye. In Munich, a first-ever Central New Year's Eve celebration featured a New Year's Eve mile and a laser show around the Siegestor Monument as Germany greeted 2026. As cities across the world welcomed New Year 2026 with fireworks, cultural performances and prayers for peace and prosperity, Nepal also marked the English New Year with growing enthusiasm, especially in major tourist hubs. In Kathmandu, areas with a strong foreign presence such as Tamil and Bodha came alive on New Year's Eve. Hotels, restaurants and clubs organized musical performances, cultural shows and countdown events, while both locals and foreign tourists gathered to celebrate the arrival of 2026. Outside the capital, popular tourist destinations including Pokhara and Sauraha also witnessed vibrant New Year festivities. Lakeside Pokhara hosted live music, fireworks and special programs, attracting domestic visitors and international tourists alike. While much of the world marks the New Year on January 1st under the Gregorian calendar, Nepal follows a different rhythm. Its Bikram Samvat New Year begins in mid-April, timed with spring, warmer weather and the start of the agricultural season. Cultural experts say the calendar aligns with renewal and activity as farming communities return to the fields after winter, a season historically viewed in Nepal as a time of rest and limited work. Despite its own calendar and time system, Nepal operates in both worlds. International flights, diplomacy and trade follow the Gregorian calendar, while domestic life follows Bikram Samvat and Nepal Standard Time. This dual system places Nepal at a unique crossroads, ahead in time, ahead in years, yet fully connected to the global clock. So as the world steps into 2026 in midwinter, Nepalese are already welcoming the New Year with planting, festivals and a calendar shaped by the rhythm of the seasons rather than the stroke of midnight. Nepal marked the 13th National Dress Day and Hat Day, which is Rashtriya Poshak Divas and Topi Divas today, with a range of events organized by youth groups across the country, highlighting a renewed pride in traditional attire. Observed under the slogan, Nepali Topi, Our Identity, the day has been celebrated continuously for the past 13 years, driven largely by young Nepalese. The initiative began in 2013, which is 2070 Bikram Sambat, with the aim of encouraging the younger generation to embrace traditional Nepali clothing, such as the Daura Surwal, Nepali Topi and Gunyo Choli, as symbols of national identity and cultural heritage. Although the official observance of National Dress Day had ceased in earlier years, youth organizations revived the tradition through grassroots campaigns. Since then, January 1st has been marked annually as National Dress Day, a move widely credited with helping restore interest in Nepal's traditional dress at a time of rapid modernization. Across Kathmandu and other major cities, special programs, cultural gatherings and awareness events were held to mark the occasion. Many participants also took to social media, sharing photographs of themselves dressed in traditional attire to promote cultural pride and unity. As Nepal is observing the Gregorian New Year, the celebration served as a reminder that cultural identity and modern life can coexist, with traditional dress continuing to play a meaningful role in expressing national heritage. We'll take a short break here. More news coming up. You're watching NTV World. Welcome back to Primetime News. A commission formed to probe issues related to the September 8 and 9 Gen Z movement is to write to then Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, summoning him for the clarification. Responding to a media query today, Commission Chair Gauri Bahadur Karki said preparations are underway to seek clarification from Oli once the process of seeking clarification from then Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak is completed. Karki's remarks came at a time when CPN-UML chair and former Prime Minister Oli was publicly stating that he would not appear before the Commission for clarification, while also questioning its legal status and impartiality. Karki added that the Commission is working according to a plan to submit its report within the extended deadline of January 21st. The three-member commission was formed following a cabinet decision on September 21st. The Rasuagadi International Border Point in northern Nepal has fully resumed operations starting today following months of closure. The border point was completely shut down after floods in the Lende River during last July swept away the Miteri Bridge. According to Rasua Chief District Officer Rajesh Panthi, operations resumed from this morning after the bridge was rebuilt. Panthi added that 80 Nepali drivers have already travelled to Kerung to retrieve cargo vehicles that had been stranded there since before the floods. Nepali containers have also begun heading to Kerung to bring Chinese goods into Nepal. The customs yard along the Bhote Koshi River, which was damaged by the floods, has been cleared and upgraded to accommodate around 200 containers. On average, about 100 containers pass daily through the Rasuagadi border point, entering and exiting Nepal. The full resumption of operations is expected to boost cross-border trade between Nepal and China. Time now for international update. Several people have been killed and others injured after an explosion tore through a bar in the Swiss ski resort town of Crans-Montana during New Year celebrations, according to local police. The blast occurred at midnight at Lake Consolation, a popular nightlife venue in the Alps known for drawing tourists during the winter season. UGC footage filmed by a tourist from New York shows the bar engulfed in flames as people ran from the scene screaming moments after the explosion. Authorities say emergency crews worked through the night to contain the fire and search for survivors, although the exact number of casualties has not yet been confirmed. Police has launched an investigation into the cause of the explosion as shocked holidaymakers and residents gathered nearby awaiting updates. The United States military says it has carried out new lethal strikes against suspected drug trafficking vessels in the Caribbean, killing 8 people. U.S. Southern Command recently released 2 videos on X showing airstrikes conducted on December 30 and 31st, targeting what it described as drug-laden speedboats attempting to evade interception. The latest deaths bring the U.S. tally of suspected traffickers killed during maritime anti-narcotics operations to at least 115 since Washington intensified its campaign last year. The strikes are part of a broader U.S. push to curb cocaine shipments moving from South America towards Central America, Mexico and the U.S., with routes increasingly extending toward Europe and Asia. Rescue teams from the humanitarian group SOS Mediterranean have transferred dozens of migrants onto their vessel Ocean Viking after they were initially saved by a supply ship in international waters between Malta and Tunisia. The migrants, whose nationalities have not yet been confirmed, had spent several days at sea after fleeing North Africa in overcrowded boats commonly used by smugglers. According to UN Refugee Agency, the Central Mediterranean remains one of the world's deadliest migration routes, with more than 2,500 people reported missing or dead in 2023. Aid groups say rescue operations are crucial as many European governments have tightened migration policies and restricted NGO activity at sea. Italy, the main entry point for migrants crossing from Tunisia and Libya, has repeatedly pushed for a coordinated EU response, arguing that frontline states cannot handle arrivals alone. SOS Mediterranean says the migrants on board Ocean Viking will need urgent medical checks and a safe port for disembarkation, which has not yet been assigned. Well, more news coming up, but after this short break. Zoran Mamdani, a vocal critic of U.S. President Donald Trump, has been sworn in as the new mayor of New York City, becoming the first Muslim to lead America's largest metropolis. The 34-year-old Democrat took the oath of office just after midnight at an abandoned subway station beneath City Hall, a symbolic nod to the city's infrastructure challenges and his grassroots campaign roots. Mamdani, the son of Ugandan Indian immigrants, first rose to national attention as a state assembly member aligned with progressive movements that opposed President Donald Trump. Mamdani succeeds outgoing Mayor Eric Adams and has pledged to tackle housing shortages, rising living costs and public transit funding, issues that dominated the campaign. His victory marks a shift in New York politics as progressive leaders look to expand their influence ahead of the 2026 U.S. midterm elections. Now, Bulgaria is preparing to adopt the euro as its official currency, becoming the 21st member of the Eurozone 2 decades after joining the European Union. The government says the switch will proceed with the strict price controls to limit any unjustified cost increases during the transition. Many citizens, however, remain concerned that everyday goods could become more expensive once the levy is phased out. The currency change comes amid ongoing political uncertainty in the country, with repeated elections shaping public debate around the euro. We're going for another break here. Sports update coming up next. Welcome back to NTV World Primetime News. Help Nepal Sports Club and Nepal Police Club have entered the men's semi-finals of the 9th NVA Cup Volleyball Championship. In the match held today at the covered hall of the National Sports Council in Tripureshwar, Help Nepal defeated Buranilkanta Volleyball Club 3-0 in straight sets. Help Nepal won with scores of 25-13, 25-23 and 25-18. In another quarter-final match, Police Club defeated Koshi Province 3-0 in straight sets, securing their semi-final clash against Help Nepal. Police won the scores of 25-19, 25-17 and 25-18. The semi-finals for both men's and women's categories will be held tomorrow, with the final scheduled for Saturday. Now, former world heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua has been discharged from hospital in Nigeria days after a car crash that killed two of his close friends, according to state officials. Joshua had been visiting the country over the holidays when the vehicle he was traveling in was involved in a fatal accident outside Lagos. Local authorities say the boxer sustained minor injuries but was kept under observation as a precaution. The deaths have shaken Nigeria's sporting community, where Joshua remains a major figure due to his family roots and frequent visits. Joshua has not yet spoken publicly about the incident, but officials say he's expected to return to the United Kingdom once he has fully recovered. And before wrapping up, here's a look into the top stories once again. Cities around the world welcomes New Year 2026 with crowds, fireworks, cultural performances. Nepal joins the celebration. Traditional attire takes center stage across Nepal. National dress and Hat Day celebrations underscore cultural identity amid New Year festivities. High-level probe commission to summon then Prime Minister Oli for clarification on Gen Z movement incidents prepares to submit report by January 21st. Several dozen feared dead in Swiss ski resort bar fire. Around 100 injured as authorities confirm multiple nationalities affected. U.S. military announces deadly strikes on suspected drugged vessels. 8 killed as anti-narcotics operations intensify in the Caribbean. And Help Nepal and Police reach NV Cup volleyball semi-finals. Men's final scheduled for Saturday. That is all for the moment here on NTV World Primetime News. Our next bulletin will be at 20 to 100 hours Nepal time. Do join us through our social media and get the latest update from our official website, nepaltelevision.com. I'm Sarah Sapsanamarai. Thank you for staying with us. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Welcome to the studios of NTV World in Kathmandu. Public Service Broadcasting, PSB Nepal's new initiative to make Nepal more visible and audible to the global audience. Welcome on board.
This is NTV World. Facts that speak, insights that matter.
Telling the stories of a changing planet. NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Exploring the heartbeat of Nepali creativity. This is NTV World.
The power of story shaped by technology. NTV World.
Unearthing Nepal's hidden heritage. Discovering the timeless Nepal.
Telling stories that endure across centuries. Where culture breathes, stories bloom.
When the world moves, we make a sense of it. NTV World.
Taste of Nepal. Every recipe, every flavor tells the story.
Journalism in the digital age. Fast, focused, verified.
Stories hold power. Stories reflecting life. Stories of the hinterlands. Reporting for NTV World.
This is NTV World. Welcome to News Hour.
This is NTV World. Welcome to Primetime News.
One story at a time.
Crossing borders, connecting voices, where Nepal meets the world in dialogue. This is NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Voices that connect Nepal to the world, bringing perspective, region and relevance to every story. NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Stand by. Mic is on.
3, 2, 1, cue.
We are NTV World.
In the natural splendor, the silver-like peaks or the Himalayas glisten. Cradling a pond filled with milk in its lap, the Numbur Himal gleams. The Dudkunda, meaning a milk pond in Nepal's northeastern district of Solukhumbu, is truly the gateway to the paradise. The Numbur, Khatang and Karyalung mountains seem to smile at all times. Adorned with a garland of colorful flowers, the Dudkunda is overflowing as if filled with milk. The very sight defines nature at its best. Feels as if the Numbur mountain is giving motherly affection, holding the lake in its lap. The beauty is so serene and virgin that one fears not to stain it by touching. Indeed, Dudkunda is nature at its purest form. Located at Solu Dudkunda municipality, Taksindu, the natural paradise draws many visitors. No matter how many words are spent describing it, they all feel inadequate upon reaching there. The name itself is fulfilling and equally sacred.
हजारौं नरनारीहरू चाहिँ तीर्थयात्रीहरू दुधकुण्डमा जानुभएको छ। म पनि पुगेर आएँ। दुधकुण्ड असाध्यै पवित्र स्थल, यो हिमाल काखमा रहेको तीर्थस्थल हो, पुण्यस्थल हो, देवस्थल हो र त्यहाँ चाहिँ एकचोटि पुग्नै पर्दो रहेछ। त्यहाँ पुगेर जुन आनन्दको अनुभूति हुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ कहीँ पनि पाइँदैन भन्ने चाहिँ महसुस भयो।
आनन्द लाग्यो, मस्त लाग्यो। अनि यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ आएर तपस्या गरेर बस्नु जरुरी जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई।
एकदमै राम्रो लाग्यो हैन, प्रकृतिले दिएको रमणीय तीर्थस्थल हैन, जो कोही पनि एकचोटि चाहिँ यहाँ आएर एकचोटि भ्रमण गरेर दर्शन गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्यो।
Situated at an altitude of 4,531 meters above the sea level, Dudkunda is a sacred pilgrimage site of culture and nature. It feels like nature has blessed this place, and culturally, it has bound all castes and ethnicities in a thread of unity. There are various legends and sayings about Dudkunda. One argument is that the pond was formed during the creation of the Himalayas and was discovered by local sheep and yak herders. According to another legend, in ancient times, a yak would go to a stone where the pond is located and offer its milk every day. Later, the place was found to be a pond filled with milk, leading to its name, Dudh Kunda. This has also led to the belief that gods and goddesses reside here. There are 3 different routes to reach Dudh Kunda. One route is through Salleri, Phaplu, Taksindu and Sasra Beni. Another route goes via Lukla, the gateway to the Everest, through Nunthala, Taksindu and Sahasra Beni. Nature has truly blessed the Solu Dudh Kunda municipality. Truly, just like the majestic Mount Everest, Dudh Kunda has the potential to be the destination for everyone in the days to come. It is a thread of unity among all castes and ethnicities. Just like the holy water of Dudh Kunda, it will become a pure and excellent destination. Intermittent playing hide and seek with the folk, enchanting one's heart with the sight of fully bloomed rhododendrons, and rejoicing in the lap of nature with the chirping of the birds. When you set foot in Sandakpur, you experience a wonderful feeling of heavenly bliss right here on earth. Due to the ever-changing weather and the snow-white mountains visible right in front of your eyes, Sandakpur constantly draws everyone's heart towards it. As a habitat for numerous species of birds and endangered wildlife, Sandakpur always leaves an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of all. Situated at an altitude of 3,636 meters above the sea level, Sandakpur is located at Ward 2 and 4 of Sandakpur Rural Municipality in Nepal's eastern Ilam district. Embracing the mountains of Nepal, India and Bhutan, Sandakpur is the only place in South Asia where one can observe the Himalayas of all 3 countries. While enjoying the Himalayan settlements, one can observe the sunrise and sunset from Sandakpur. It is the only place in Nepal from where over 60 mountain peaks, including the Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Makalu, Pathivara and Kumbhakarna, can be seen from one spot. Being the source of the holy Mai River, one of the 4 major rivers in Ilam, Sandakpur is also revered from a religious standpoint, attracting pilgrims from Sandakpur Ridge, the settlements of Ilam, Jhapa and West Bengal of India, seem so close that it feels like you could hold them in the palm of your hand. The crimson glow of the sun rising from the Bay of Bengal in the morning, glittering upon the mountains. The joy of witnessing this form such a height is majestic. That is why in winter for the snow and during the monsoon for the rain, the number of visitors from both home and abroad to Sandakpur is on the rise. Among the different species of rhododendrons found in Nepal, 36 can be spotted just along the Sandakpur trek. The rhododendrons blooming all over the forest captivate every heart. With the chirping of birds, the cliffside honeybees, and the opportunity to study endangered species like the red panda, vultures, while enjoying nature, Sandakpur journey has captivated trekkers from around the world. Every year, more than 150,000 tourists from India, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Europe visit Sandakpur. Known as the bird's eye place, Sandakpur was declared a one province, one cultural village by Nepal government in 2018. However, the place still awaits infrastructures like drinking water, electricity and proper trekking trails. Sandakpur can be reached after a 42-kilometer ride from the Ilam headquarters via Mai Pokhari and Kalu Pokhari. Another route to Sandakpur is from Ilam Bazar via Biblate, Sulubung, Mabu and Kalu Pokhari. When trekking to Sandakpur, the highest point of the Mahabharata range, the joy of staying in the homestays and hotels along the way while savoring local cuisine is immeasurable. While forging a connection with the Himalayan settlements, enjoying herbs and local produce, and playing in the snow in winter and the rain during the monsoon, you must visit Sandakpur at least once in your life.
Bhutan has been a fantastic trip so far. People come here mainly for the main target species and because birds are more easily seen.
Yungi khato ine training khandi gyamdi de auto chi jinsomdi de najimbale dang miselde name sam phento yoro shin.
In the valley nestled beneath the sky, where the snowy mountains reach high, the Sakteng Wildlife Sanctuary grows with life. The land of Yeti, as the people of Sakteng calls it, with tales and myths that flow through the unique culture of nomadic tribes in eastern Bhutan.
This part of Bhutan is the home to the Brokpa people, an ethnic minority of yak herders who migrated from southern Tibet in the 13th century.
The pastoral community was once home to a man with a dream. However, tragedy took place when the man was a victim of a fatal car accident. His death had a devastating effect on his family. His daughter, Ngawang Chensom, had to give up on her education. Her mother, Leki Dema, grieved and felt sad for the challenges she is facing.
Rango ki intention ya lumbegi isu nalham thosong dazi ne chige hab to midi nilam nalama ton tanui ne chige hab to midi the same man.
Why do I care so much for this place? Why am I supposed to stay here? I don't know what exactly is waiting for me in this sanctuary. There must be a reason why I cannot bear to leave my village. I live in harmony with the land, a timeless rhythm so great, and my paths, although unknown, and a life without hindrance that I grew up. As I travel across this land, I see the beauty, the clean air, the majesty of nature so difficult to ignore.
Ni sa then lu khan gamdi sing moto da ke na thukina or bethong sing tene besing shupsing the moto da ke thubina le yu thar ko gi am men gang yu shen the inchi da chi thon prugusu me the mi chetu ka o da men ba tin the sim shon the yu gang yu the inchi da chi the os nom so khal da os chogina.
Sakteng is a wild haven where red pandas, Himalayan black bear, snow leopard, and musk deer hide in the forests. This is a land of myths and mysteries intertwined in perfect harmony.
And my zone is, and then as we go higher up, we're going to get the trogopans and monals and blood pheasants. So it's people come here mainly for the main target species, and because birds are more easily seen in Bhutan than other parts. So Bhutan has got more charm to looking at the birds out here.
Rising in the early hours, my heavenly dream fades with the rising sun. Descending the stairs of my happy homestay, a familiar scene reminds me the wealth of our local handlooms.
They pop down church. Oh, don't was in time missions.
In a closet, hidden away, lies my collection. Colorful and cheerful memories of costumes ready to play. Drawn by the sounds of music, I like to see a group of women dancing to the rhythm of old songs. It made me feel lost in the pace and movement of the dance. Getting back on track, singing and dancing really brings the sense of togetherness and love for the traditions in my community. While walking in the peaceful village of Sakteng, I could not help but feel a sense of reverence in the air. Residents spoke about sacred religious sites dotting the landscape. Crops struggled to survive in the mountains. Now, with the introduction of greenhouse, fresh vegetables are taking flight to serve visitors to Ngawang Chensom's homestay.
A few local delicacies in the local alcohol.
By adapting to the challenges of climate change and finding new ways to grow food sustainably, she contributes to securing a bright future for her community and the planet. All is well in the village of Sakteng, but with a growing population and increasing number of shops, the pressure on waste management becomes a challenge. Ngawang's decision to stay at home reflects the value of the preservation of cultural heritage and natural resources. By promoting sustainable tourism, we can make tourism work for everyone and appeal to future generations.
This is my first time visiting any Asian country. I'm very impressed with the beauty of Bhutan, the landscapes, the mountains, the valleys. The people have been very friendly, and the weather's been nice for us. Everything's just been lovely here.
Although they bid farewell to this beautiful song, we could see their emotions that they do not express or hide. Here, everyone's eyes are sparkling and glowing with happiness. These people, their culture and their environment have touched Ngawang's heart that she will never forget to go back to her village with hopes and aspirations.
Home Bahadur Tamang, a gifted Thangka artist from the spiritual heart of Buddha, has turned his craft into a global bridge between tradition and business.
Thangka चाहिँ मैले 1976 मा सुरुवात गरेको। मेरो टिचर चाहिँ म भन्दा अघिल्लो मेरो दाइ हो, साइला दाइ। मेरो चाहिँ बाउपादेखि नै कलाकार हुनुहुन्थ्यो। पाटन, भक्तपुर, छामेल, दरबार स्क्वायरमा यसै पसल बेच्ने काम हुन्थ्यो। अनि त्यो बेच्दा मैले यो थाङ्गा चाहिँ विदेशीले किन्दो रहेछ, आफैले विदेशसँग बेच्नुपर्छ भन्ने अलिकति मनमा मलाई अलिकति सोच आयो। त्यसपछि मैले 2050 सालमा यहाँ सुरु गरेँ, आजभन्दा 32 वर्ष अगाडि।
What began as a young artist's journey through the streets of Kathmandu has blossomed into a thriving enterprise where sacred art meets business and tourism. With every brushstroke, home brings Nepal's rich spiritual heritage to the world, transforming Thangka painting into a symbol of cultural fusion.
त्यो बेला चाहिँ पसल कोही पनि यहाँ थिएन, किनभने त्यो मार्केटले चाहिँ कहाँ मार्केट हुन्छ भन्ने खोज्दो रहेछ। त्यो खोज्ने क्रममा म यहाँ आइपुग्यो। विदेशीहरू पनि यहाँ त्यति अहिले जस्तो बस्दैन, 5 मिनेट 10 मिनेटमा घुमेर जानुहुन्थ्यो। त्यतिखेर खाने रेस्टुरेन्ट पनि एकजना मात्रै थियो, एउटा मात्रै थियो। अहिले चाहिँ होस् त्यो बेला र अहिलेमा धेरै आकाश जमिनको फरक भएको छ।
The story is one of passion, innovation, and a deep commitment to preserving tradition while embracing the future.
विशेष गरी यो बौद्ध स्तूपसँग रिलेटेड छ। यो बुद्धको शिक्षासँग रिलेटेड यो थाङ्गा चाहिँ संसारको मानिसहरू यो स्तूपलाई घुम्ने क्रममा यो प्रार्थना गर्ने मेन आउने ठाउँ चाहिँ यो रहेछ। त्यसो भएको हुनाले यो चाहिँ विशेष गरी ओल्ड हेरिटेज साइटमा चाहिँ त्यो पनि के हो बुद्धिस्टको भएको हुनाले चाहिँ नेपालभरि कुनै थाङ्का बिक्ने ठाउँ चाहिँ अति महत्त्वपूर्ण चाहिँ यो नै हो वास्तवमा, किनभने रिलेटेड छ यो बुद्धसँग।
From the hills of Ramechhap to the heart of Buddha, Home Bahadur Damang has a glorious story to tell. A story of will, determination, struggle, and success.
म आफै पनि रामेछाप दुर्गम जिल्लामा जन्मेको चाहिँ रोजगार छैन, त्यहाँ स्कुल छैन, कलेज छैन, हस्पिटल छैन, रोजगार छैन। त्यसपछि म पनि रोजगारकै क्रममा यहाँ आएर मैले सुरुवात गर्यो। अहिले चाहिँ म लगभग 49 वर्ष भयो यही पेसा गरेर दाल भात खाएको। अब नयाँ पुस्तालाई पनि मैले हस्तान्तरण गर्नुपर्छ है भन्ने मेरो एउटा उद्देश्यले चाहिँ अहिले मैले नयाँ पुस्तालाई चाहिँ गाउँबाट आउनुहुन्छ, स्कुल सकेर अनि बिहान चाहिँ कलेज जानुहुन्छ, दिउँसो काम छैन। त्यस कारणले मैले 3 महिना फ्री ट्रेनिङ दिने गरेको छ। उहाँको स्किल अन्त टेस्ट गरेर हामीले यहीँ तलब दिएर जस्तो बिहान कलेज पनि भ्यायो उसो कति हो त्यसो त्यहाँबाट एक्स्ट्रा टाइम चाहिँ 5 घण्टा 6 घण्टा 7 घण्टा मैले पनि यहाँ जीवन चलाउने चाहिँ काम भइरहेको छ अहिले।
For 49 years, he painted, taught, and empowered young artisans. Today, his school preserves tradition and creates futures.
हामीले यहाँ सुरुमा इन्टरभ्यू लिन्छु, त्यसपछि 1 हप्ता चाहिँ नि सानो र क्यानभासमा हात ट्रेनिङ दिन्छु, त्यसको शरीरको बडीहरू अलिकति ट्रेनिङ दिन्छु, अनि 1 हप्तापछि ओके भनेर ओके या यस भने कोही मानिस नसक्ने चाहिँ नि आधा घन्टामा 1 घन्टामा उठेर गइहाल्छ। म सक्दैन, ढाड दुख्यो, किन उसको मन धेरै भएर गयो, त्यो सक्दैन, ऊ आउँदैन, एक दिन पनि आउँदैन। मात्रै आँखा चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो। हामीले अपाङ्गलाई पनि सिकाएको छ, जस्तो बाहिर कान नसुन्ने पनि सिकाएको छ, आँखा चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो, त्यस्तै हो।
As interest in Buddhism grows worldwide, so does the appreciation for our sacred art. Foreigners now come not just to admire but to learn, studying our architecture techniques and meditative Thangka traditions, giving new life to what was once known only within our borders.
बुद्धिज्म नेपाल हो। नेपालमा जति छन् विश्वसम्पदामा सूचीमा भएको मठ मन्दिर गुम्बद छ, यसैबाट उहाँले पनि सिकेको वास्तवमा। यो जुन बौद्ध स्तूपरा भनौँ लुम्बिनी त्यो जस्तो त उहाँहरूले बनाउन सक्दैन, तर यसको चाहिँ एकदम महत्त्वपूर्ण के छ भगवान या चाहिँ दोस्रो तेस्रो बुद्धको रिलेटिभ यहाँ छ। जति चाहिँ अहिले संसारमा यो बुद्धिज्म फैलिँदै जान्छ, यो महायान बुद्धिज्म त्यत्तिकै ठाङ्गको भ्यालु चाहिँ बढ्दैछ अहिले। जस्तो मेरै कुराहरू मैले 40-45 वर्ष यति ठाङ्गको महत्त्व थिएन, किनभने वर्ल्ड वाइडमा बुद्धिज्ममा थिएन, विदेशीहरूले जानेकै थिएन। उनीहरूले त्यो सुरु आउँदाखेरि सानो एउटा नेपाल आउँदाखेरि सुपर नेट किन नलैजाऊ भन्ने मात्रै लाइन थियो। अहिले चाहिँ उहाँहरू चाहिँ जस्तो अमेरिका, युरोप, तपाईँको यो सिङ्गापुर, ताइवान, मलेसिया, विभिन्न देशमा चाहिँ अहिले बुद्धिस्ट प्र्याक्टिसनर धेरै उहाँहरू चाहिँ गर्नुहुन्छ। त्यसको लागि चाहिँ एकदमै महत्त्वपूर्ण छ। त्यस कारणले भविष्यमा यो थाङ्गा चाहिँ छ, यसको मार्केट छ।
As an artist, entrepreneur, and a master, he feels fulfilled, creating beauty, guiding others, and living with purpose.
मैले संसार जीवन जगतलाई थाहा पायो। अहिले हामी सांसारिक जीवन छ, सांसारिक जीवनमा कसरी जिउने र अर्कोलाई पनि कसरी जिउन दिने कला थाहा पायो। त्यसपछि अब जुन देशमा जन्मे पनि, जुन कुलमा जन्मे पनि 100% निश्चित के हो भने मृत्यु छ। त्यो त निश्चित हो नि, एउटै निश्चित छैन, कहिले पनि निश्चित छैन। तर त्यो मर्नेमा म कसरी मर्ने भन्ने कला पनि थाहा पाएँ मैले। मलाई त धेरै परिवर्तन भएको छ। मैले परिवर्तन भयो भने के हुन्छ, मैले ठुलो पचेरो चढ्यो, ठुलो गाडी त्यस्तो होइन, तर मलाई खुसी छ। सादा दाल भात खान पाएछ, मैले परिवार पाल्नु पाएछ। यही थाङ्गाले म